I told us where they're going to be on game day. How do you split that up on defense? Who's up top and who's down low?
Myself, Buddy Wyatt and Van Malone will be downstairs. Joe and Tui will be upstairs, and then our GAs will kind of be, they'll all be upstairs. So they keep an eye on everything for us.
What goes into that kind of decision? Like personal preference? Like how do you decide who's going?
We kind of do it by kind of situation. Like, I'm downstairs so I can communicate with the linebackers.
Yeah.
And usually I can cross over to the safeties or the DNs. The guy who's downstairs generally handles all the games on third down, whether it's D-line coach. So which one of those guys handles it? And it's Buddy's area. So he's going to do that. So Tui can watch, the run schemes from upstairs. Joe really prefers to be upstairs, and his vision is pretty good about seeing what's going on the field. And I can cross over and talk to those guys, and Van can handle them too. So it's kind of a combination because I'm on the field. You want another run fit guy because safeties will fit in the run game. He'll be upstairs, and we kind of break it up as we go that way.
How consistent is this defense playing right now?
It's solid. We still have some up and downs. I mean, they're still 18 to 22-year-old kids, and they go up and down. For us, it's been a deal of kind of learning this style of practice. They've been trained a certain way for so long, and we're doing things a little bit different that, you switch something up on, you take the pads off, you put noise on, you do some of that, and maybe the communication goes down because they don't know how to fight through it a little bit, so we're not as clean. And then the next day you'll address those things, and then it'll be up, and then you'll add something new to it. And then, so we're trying to balance all those things out that you can have on a game day. Hopefully we're going to play pretty fast, but we'll see how it works,
What are your thoughts on the Nichols quarterback?
Yeah, he's a player. The thing that I think in any level, as you look at people, as you say, a guy who's experienced, has won a lot of games, understands their system, and is an explosive player, both running the ball and throwing the ball. It gives you fit on defense, really. I mean, it's something that you're worried about all the time. If you were going to come in and play you'd much rather. I know the fans want a big experience and stuff like that. I'm okay playing rookie quarterbacks all year long. I've never played before, because you can mess with them so much easier. A guy that's seasoned, that understands what they do on offense so well and has been in the system for a long time, they're dangerous. And really those things you can trick him, and you can trick him, and you can hit him, and you can do some things. But when he figures out what you're doing, or he sees a look that he knows what that is, he can hurt you and get an explosive. And that's really what offenses look for nowadays. You can go 0-0-0-1, 35, and that 35 is going to be points. So now you're going, okay, well, we've been playing good defense, but you still gave up 7 points, and you're only, 8 plays in the game. And, that one play can snap you like that.
How tough has it been to prepare for a team that returns a quarterback, a running back that almost had 1,000, a receiver that had, I think, 7, 8, or 9 touchdowns last year? Just not a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of weapons. I mean, it's not just their one back. They really got 3 back there. One guy's a speed guy, and runs the ball and can find creases. And then they got 2 others that are very good changeup. They got a big bruiser in the backfield, and they got a guy that can cut and do all the things. I mean, so for us, it's what it's going to be. I mean, you got to kind of look at those things. Okay, if this guy's hurting us, how do we want to play that? If this guy's hurting us, how do we want to, and you got to adjust and see how the matchups work out during the game. But I think everyone we're going to play is going to be like that. Everyone's going to have a good quarterback, and everyone's going to have a good running back, and everyone's going to have at least one good wide receiver. So you can kind of make this your test process. Okay, how are we playing at this spot? If that's giving us an issue, then we switch and we need to do this, and we need to stress somebody else, and kind of see how it works as it goes.
What in your eyes did Kyle Ball do to earn at least being right up there with Reggie in that defensive end spot?
That guy's been consistent since he stepped on the field this fall. I mean, he's a guy that understands the defense, understands the fits, understands his job. He did a really good job when he was hurt in spring, just really picking up the defense, where most guys, without doing it, they can't do it themselves. They can learn it in the classroom and say all the right things, but you put it on the field and they still have to learn it, and he had the ability to be able to take right away things in the classroom and walk on the field and be able to do them. So that really helped him, and Reggie was nicked up. I think that that's a good position for us, where we can play a lot of guys and we can do a lot of different things with those guys, and we can keep them really fresh. I mean, I think we're excited to have all those defensive ends. They all have different little slots, and they can all play in different areas and in the same areas.
It seems like the experience factor up front is going to be big. Their offensive line versus your defensive line. How crucial will the defensive line be in this game?
I think the defensive line is crucial in every game. I think that's where our advantage should be in this week as you look at it. You just look at matchups, and they're young. up front. You know, they got 2 guys back that have played. I know only one true starter, but another guy played a whole bunch, you know. And I think that that's where we need to excel. And if we can stress those guys more, like those are the matchups that we're talking about. You have to get into every game to be able to figure out, you know, okay, so-and-so's hurting us at this, so but we're winning here, so now let's stress these guys more. And you have to be able to, you know, take advantage of those weaknesses that they have and the strengths that you have against them, and kind of help the ones that are hurting you, you know. So I think that we'll stress those guys all year. You know, I mean, our defensive ends, we have a bunch of them that can play. Yeah. And so as long as we keep them fresh and they can stay running around and stay healthy, I think that'll be a good leg up for us in a lot of games. You know, the D tackles are the same way. I mean, we're deep there too.
Are there any positions where you're comfortable just going with one guy, or are you going to try to rotate people in everywhere?
I think we're going to try to rotate in people everywhere. I think that the game moves too fast now, and generally you get too many snaps to be able to play one guy a whole game. You know, if we were playing in a slow league, it would be a different story. You know, if you're going to get 60 plays a game and, you know, you're going to get breaks in between and all that kind of stuff, you would say, yeah, we'll try to roll if you know. But right now we're going to try to roll in a bunch of guys, and if you know, someone gets nicked up, it might get to be thin. You know, one guy's got to play more than 60 snaps, but hopefully we can keep it around there.
How do you handle those choices on your side of the ball? Is it position coaches on rotations? Is it your call? Is it Coach Kleiman? How do you make those decisions?
You know, we kind of get all together. Usually it comes down to the position coach, what he thinks. I mean, I'll throw in my 2 cents, and so will Coach Cly. You know, we'll say, hey, it's this and that and the other thing. But it's one of those deals that, you know, the guys who coach them know them the best. The guys who look in their eyes every day and figure it out, and you can see it on game day. Hey, this guy's got a hot hand right now. He's going to get an extra series, how it works out. But you also don't want it to be a point where, you know, kids are kids too. They're going to turn around and say, hey, I'm not getting any reps today, so how hard am I going to work in practice and preparing myself for the game? And then if you get to that guy and you throw him, he's not ready. You know, so you like to play a bunch of guys because, you know, really when they're on the field, they're all starters. It doesn't really matter, but they're playing in the game, and they have to prepare themselves that way. So we like to play a bunch of guys. You know, if they can do it, they can do it. If they prove they can't, then, you know, we might have to adjust.
What's your mindset on, hey, we need to win these first, you know, games 1, 2, 3, but I don't want to show Oklahoma and Texas and Baylor everything we got in the playbook here?
I don't really think about that. You know, I'm kind of a one-game guy. You know, let's win 1, and whatever we need to do to win 1, let's win 1, and then we'll worry about number 2 as we get there. I know some guys believe in those things, and I think that sometimes that can get you, because if you handcuff yourself and you don't prepare to have all your bullets in your gun, and you get down in the game and you're saying, well, we haven't repped this or something, I think that's hard, you know, because you can get in the games. You never know how the game's going to end up. You know, I mean, they could be scoring 45 and we score 50, or we could, you know, be 10-7. But you want to have, you know, if the game's close at all, you want to have bullets in your gun to be able to help yourself win. I mean, that's the most important thing, is win 1. I'm not worried about them other things yet, you know. And sometimes, you know, they'll see it anyway. I mean, they know what you got, and they'll figure out who we are and go get tape from wherever. So
I know it's a cliche question, but what are 1 or 2 things about Nichols that are keeping you up, or you're really concerned about as you get into this game?
I mean, to me, it's their skill spots. You know, I mean, the combination of their quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, their coaches have been together for a while. They've taken a team that hasn't been very good and transitioned to a team that knows how to win, and they're on that roll right now where they're winning games and willing themselves to win games. I think that those things all together is something that you look at and you say, wow, you're playing against a team that knows how to win. They have good athletes running all over the place, and just that fact of the ability to create explosives always keeps me awake.
What's that feeling going to be like for you? You played in a lot of stadiums before, coming onto that field for the first time.
No, you know, I think it's exciting everywhere you go. You know, sure, I like to be out there and watch whatever fanfare goes on. It's always fun. I think that everywhere's special. You know, and it's different depending on, you know, where you. I think that I mean, you still get goosebumps every game, no matter if it's. Sometimes you watch stuff and when you're on the road and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, all that stuff's good. It just gets you ready for game day, you know, and it's always a great feeling to get ready for game day, you know.